Hi guys, welcome to another video. In this video, I actually want to do a review on you guess it, Asphalt 4 Elite Racing for the Nintendo DS. Now, let's go into some detail on this game. This game was made by GameLoft, made for iOS, DSi, Java Phone, Java 2Me or Java Phone, as well as Symbian OS. The one I'm going to be focusing on today is the DSi version. Now, you're probably thinking, is there a Nintendo DS port? No, there isn't. This was only exclusive to DSi. Basically, this was a software you had to install, so there's no cartridge. And as you can see, I'm actually playing it on an emulator thanks to Melon DS because that is the only, I think, like DSiWare emulator I know that like has the feature to actually do so. Now, is actually doing a review on this game. So I'm also gonna now go into the company itself. Game Loftia you probably know as for 2025. They make terrible mobile games, but this was one of their older games they made back in 2009. You know, the era where the iPhone was very popular, Android started to become Android. Symbian OS was getting less and less until it was eventually discontinued by 2012. And Java to me wasn't really a thing back then because people were switching to iOS or Android or Symbian OS as well. So next is also the controls of the cars. The controls here are they're normal actually. So the A button is to accelerate, B is to brake, Y or X can be used in order to I think like X is actually used to to change the camera. Y can be used sorry about that. Sorry about that. Y can be used to actually use your nitro as well as the L button. The R trigger can also be used to look what's behind you. You can also use the steering wheel on the button screen using your stylus. You can also use the D-pad, of course, to steer. So these are two options, but don't use the steering wheel; it's but bad. So what I can tell, this is more like for me like a burnout clone. I guess for the time it was meant to be sort of like a burnout clone, but it's overall good. At least it's not as bad as Burnout Legends. For the next time I actually mention this back in my calls to review. And also you might be seeing some frames drop because I think it was because I was using a simulator. And yeah, it's also sometimes when I'm using a simulator, like for some reason, when I'm recording it starts to drop frames. So just keep in mind of that. Now next I'm also gonna go into the gameplay and also what do I and also modes. So there's many different modes. Dual race, which you just saw me do. Police, chase, which you have to take down the person who is in first place. Pinwall up, just beat. It's like a road rage. I guess this one. Like take out as much as possible. And also cash attack. You have to collect as much cash as possible. Before you get your final lap. And what else is there? Um, I think it should be about it. And also. Now, in the iOS version, if you remember playing older versions, you have to get money to unlock new cars. In this version, you actually have to do levels. For example, I'm level 40 now. As you can see, it's level 39, but yeah. Now, also, this version, you can actually as well take a picture of yourself and put it in your garage. But I don't do that since it's very unstable, since using an emulator as usual. Next, I'm also going to go into the handling of the cars. The handling of the cars aren't that bad. Like they aren't really bad. Although the iOS version does have no different handling, as well as the Symbian and Java versions. You know the Java version, extremely different version. So the handling of these cars don't handle bad. I'd say they're actually good handling for these cars. At least they're good. Now, also, what I read some information this game was also rated by Nintendo Live, I think, but I couldn't get to see the score. And unfortunately, the DSi shop closed down in 2016. So the only way to get this game was either if you went online, which what I did actually. I just went online and went to the Internet Archive and got the game. Then, or you could just either simply bought this game back in 2009 before the eShop, in a year before the eShop closed down. So yeah. Now also this game now I'm also gonna be going into the visuals. The visuals of the game look good, although there are a few differences in this version. One, there are less maps compared to the iOS version. The Symbian version has the most less maps. Although in this version they are missing maps like Las Vegas, San Francisco, and Mumbai, and yeah, I think that should be about it. But there are two other races from Asphalt 3, like what's it again? Saint Petersburg and Hawaii. These were the only two maps that were only less. Well, how may I put this way? They only made their way into the DSi version. The DSi version was also the later version since it came out back in 2009, which I don't judge because hey, I guess Gameloft did wanted to do this. Well, I don't know why, but it's an overall okay game. Next is I also like the models. The models look great in this game. I'm not gonna lie, it looks great. Much like my Cars 2 review, if you actually remember. The models of this game look great. Mostly the car models in the garage are different. As you can see, like look here, the models of the cars in the garage are different. Although when you get into the game, they just use the models of the iOS version. It's not bad or anything. I'm just saying like they just use the models from the iOS version, except for the Bugatti Veyrons. And some of the car models here actually have some like car models have their own separate models. Neither these weren't used in the Symbian version of the game. Now, I also heard there was an Engage 2.0, which that version is now on trial since the game has not been cracked yet, and you cannot crack. I don't mean drugs or anything. What I mean by crack is you basically take a trial version and you start scripting the game to like get a full version of the game. That's what I mean by cracked. I don't mean other drugs or anything. Just to be safe here. Just to be safe. Now, also in this game, there's also interesting things. You can also tune up your car, but you will have downsides as you can see here. Like maybe you might lose some speed, handling, acceleration, brake, or anything. Now, for me, I normally focus on speed. Although I could also maybe just use some improvement on the handling, but I understand because hey, you need to do some sacrifices in this game. Now, also, you also have to buy cars as well after you reach the amount of level for the car. Now, also, my main goal, I probably have to beat the game and get the Bugatti Veyron. I'm on level 40 right now. I have 8 stages away from getting the Veyron. So one day I'm just gonna try and get the Bugatti Veyron. This game also takes most of its aspects probably from Asphalt 3 Street Rules, which was a game only exclusive to Java and Symbian and also Engage 2.0. And yeah, this game is very interesting for me. Now finally comes the time. Would I rate this? How would I recommend this game? I would recommend it if you like DSI racing games. Yes, I would. I would actually recommend this game. But if you just want a good, decent DSI game, at the end of the day, I'd recommend getting this. It's not the best. It's not the best game, but it may keep you entertained at the end of the day. Just keep in mind that this is a good DSI game, and if you want something good, this is your best option. Probably ticket. But anyways, I hope you guys like and subscribe, and maybe I'll do more reviews like this. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.